What's up, Seekers? This is the video that you've all been asking for, the update on Todd and Rose. We're gonna watch this video with you. We're gonna give you all the behind the scenes. We're gonna spill the tea and tell you about the things we couldn't even add into the video.
Stay tuned to the end and watch my interview with Rose and catch up on what's going on in her life today and where she's at with Todd.
You're gonna wanna see it. Let's get into it.
Oh, you're the guy that I flirt with his wife with.
Yeah, why the f were you doing that?
This man that flirts with every woman he comes in contact with.
I was nice to him, by the
wants to know
way.
if the woman that he's been communicating with online is the real deal.
I believe that Stephanie Jane Wilson is a real person. We exchanged our social security numbers to know the other was authentic.
But Stephanie claims she's in the military on a top secret mission and her commander does all the talking for her.
She's got a commander named Commander Jones.
I don't want bullshit.
Can you get her on the phone with me?
No, you're not even together right now. I told you she's a patrol.
But who really is this mysterious woman?
How are you doing
He was
patrol on
telling
a
me that,
top secret mission?
She's a fake and she was a fraud. I still strongly disagree with him.
This is Todd, but are you Stephanie?
He's about to make the biggest mistake of his life. I gotta make sure that he wakes up before he sends nearly $500,000.
Join us on another episode of Scamfish, sponsored by socialcatfish.com. We'll get to the bottom of everything. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your engagement with our videos helps
Make
us
sure you
reach
like.
new audiences and can potentially stop other people from being scammed.
Okay, Brian, we have a new case. It's from a woman named Rose. She's reaching out on behalf of her friend named Todd. I'll read her email. She says, "My name is Rose and I'm reaching out about my..."
So we did script the audio a little bit. It goes from left to right.
I know.
Yeah, that was post-edit. We're getting better at this stuff.
She claims to be a Marine stationed in Florida, but has fabricated numerous stories about being in danger and needing money. Todd has sent over $10,000, a new phone, and even Bitcoin. I am desperate for help to stop Todd from losing everything. Thank you for any support you can offer.
Wow.
It's crazy,
Intervention case.
for sure.
You were sick, or you lost your voice.
I lost my voice for like
The
weeks.
reason why I'm here
crazy.
is my friend Todd is stuck in a relationship where I know it's a scam. Their relationship started in 2022. I believe he met this girl on Facebook, and her Facebook goes by the name Stephanie. She's got a commander named Commander Jones that is holding her money hostage, and that's why she can't get an honorable discharge. The worst of it is he put engaged to this person.
Rose is
on
so
Facebook.
caring. Such a good
My name is
friend.
Todd. I'm 59 years old, live in Carthage, New York. I am the executive
What are those
director
headphones?
of
Are those gaming
a
headphones?
not-for-profit
I
group
don't
called
know.
Railway
Bluetooth
Historic
headphones?
Society of
They're like
Northern New
overkill.
York.
They are overkill.
Remember when Bluetooth first came out and people would like wear them and they'd walk around
Did
and
not
then you try to
last
talk to
long.
them
It
like,
ended in a divorce.
it's like that.
I normally look for women of potential interest from my local taverns. I'll even say shopping centers.
I don't even know
malls.
where my local
I
tavern is.
listed myself on Facebook dating. That's the only.
How, like, I'm not saying people don't
dating
meet people
that
at taverns
I
or
subscribe to.
taverns and
This
bars.
We don't even
video
say
of how Todd
taverns.
opened up is where
Who
this
says
whole
tavern?
story began. He was contacted by multiple people, but nothing ever stuck until he received a message from this woman who caught his eye.
Happened to see this profile on Facebook. Of course,
I mean,
her
if like
profile
you are
photos
meeting somebody, I'm
are
not saying you
instant.
can't, nobody can date somebody out of their league, but if you're meeting somebody that's like
Basically just
significant out of your league,
Steph
that's the
is
first red flag
31
right there.
years old,
I know.
Brown eyes.
And she's like
brown
half
hair.
his age.
For me,
I
she's
know
very
that
tight.
too.
How old is he? 69?
She was, I think she's in her 30s.
And he's how old?
30, I think she's 39.
No, how old is he?
He's
She just dresses
59,
well for a
60?
woman of
Oh,
her age.
yeah.
I'm affectionately called Heartbeat. I affectionately call her Baby.
It's like you
I
dating
don't
like
speak
somebody our
with her
son's age. That's
verbally.
weird.
Yeah, I can do it.
Like the conversation that we have via the text messaging that we are
But it works
able
out
to
for
have.
some people. I mean, the age gap, it
Our
works out for some
conversations
people.
were
Yeah,
more,
100%.
How was your day?
But usually you can
What
meet 'em
happened?
in
Face
person.
to
What did you
face.
have for dinner? And how was your sleep? You know, how was your night?
Todd and Steph chatted through text all day and night. He fell deeply in love with this person and would do anything for her. But Todd's love for Stephanie grew so much, he began to worry about her well-being working in the Army.
I woke up at about just a shy bit after 4 o'clock in the morning with this feeling that something has just happened to her. Immediately brought tears to my eyes, and I messaged her. I said, "What's wrong? I know something just happened." She said, "I was in an accident."
Coincidence.
I'll make it. And it took 2 days before she'd give me any details. She had an accident with a Humvee. I don't know if she was on the outside of it and somebody else was operating it, and it came.
How do you not ask questions? Because it leaves it open.
He
He
doesn't
doesn't.
ask
He's
any
like, I don't know
questions.
if this happened or that happened. It was just an accident.
Both oral and topical antibiotics.
And then if you're in the military is going to pay for it. And it's
Yeah, 100%.
some money together.
yeah, insurance,
For
military.
both oral and
Stephanie's
topical
request for money
antibiotics.
started and never ended. She had endless reasons for why Todd needed to support her.
14, 15 months ago, when I was expecting her to have an honorable discharge from the Marine Corps, we were talking about cell phones and that hers wasn't really up to task, wasn't as reliable. And then I actually told her that I would actually purchase for her an Apple iPhone.
He's still paying for
14.
that monthly.
I paid
This month was supposed to be his last payment.
Wow. And he sent it to her?
He's paying the phone off. Like, he's paying the
But
phone
he
bill.
mailed it to somebody.
He mailed it to somebody.
Oh, I didn't know he mailed it
In
to somebody.
Texas.
She was very sick, so I advanced money for prescriptions for her medical needs. I used to send as much as $300 at a time via Apple Pay.
The more Todd sent, it seemed the more money Stephanie needed. He was sending money weekly and was essentially funding another person's life. Things got even more out of hand when he received a text message from Stephanie's commander.
She has a superior officer, superior commanding officer that I know as Commander Jones. And she was supposed to be considered for early honorable discharge.
Well, the
I
biggest red
going
flag
to
was,
come up with
at what point does a commander ever reach out?
$50 and send
No,
it to
and to
Bitcoin address
say
for
spend
him.
me $2,500
This
so I
endless back and
can
forth and
leave the
constant
military.
sending of money has dragged on for years now. A never-ending cycle that seems impossible to break. Todd's friends have urged him time and time again to cut ties, yet despite
Like, it makes
the
no
warning,
sense. Like, you're
he still
overseas, or
continues to
supposedly
communicate with
overseas,
Stephanie
and your
daily.
commanding
I
officer, which
started
is
having
part of the
concerns
U.S.
when he
military,
told me that
is
he's never talked
basically
to this
telling
girl
you
because
you have
she
to
asked
pay
him
her
like,
for
gift
her to
cards.
leave
He
the
said,
It doesn't
military.
make sense.
None of
and
it
I'm
makes
like,
sense.
Oh, no.
We exchanged our social security numbers. It was a way for us to know the other was authentic. And
How? How does that
real.
show
It
that you're
does
authentic?
not
I
make
could
sense.
make up a
Saying
social
he's
security
giving me, like,
number
$400,000
and just give it to you.
for
How does
a
that?
husband
How does it do anything
When
other
she
than
first
How does that authenticate yourself?
you know? The only thing it
falling in
authenticates
love with me,
somebody
I
running your
thought,
credit to
Yeah,
apply
and,
for credit
and
cards,
using your
cars,
using your social.
all sorts
no,
of stuff.
I was already feeling that
Don't
way
authenticate your
towards her.
relationship using
He's
social
about to
security
make the
numbers.
biggest mistake
Pro
of
tip.
his life, and I gotta make sure that he wakes up before he sends nearly $500,000 to this person.
Rose and all of Todd's friends have pushed him to hire a private investigator to find out more on Stephanie.
So this was not the
He
first
was
time
telling me that,
he's heard this
she was
answer.
a fake and she was a
Nope.
fraud. I still
He has
strongly
friends in
disagree with
high places.
His friends in the military have even looked into Stephanie's military record.
He's a senator,
I'm
right?
in denial that they did their diligence.
New York
about
senator.
finding whether
He
Stephanie
had her.
was
He has close ties
a member
and
of
asked her
the
to
United States
look up
Marine Corps,
Stephanie.
United States
And they came back and
Department
said,
of
"Here's a
After
report.
everything,
We validated
Todd
that this
still
person
holds
doesn't
out hope
exist."
that he will one
He
day
says
marry this
that
woman in these
I don't believe
images,
you.
and she'll get honorably discharged.
We knew this going
so
into
that
the
she
story,
can
so
be
we
killed.
knew this was
So
going to be a
I
challenge.
believe that Stephanie Jane Wilson is a real person, that she is doing what she has been trained to do to support our national interest for defense of our country and our values and our democracy. I have planned out the next 100 years having us as husband and wife and raising a family and children.
So he'll be
So
159 years
maybe
old.
next
with
30 to
the woman
40
that I
years.
believe that I have fallen in love with. If I'm able to verify that my Stephanie Jane is real as I know her, that'll be everything that I want to believe and want to know for the rest of my life.
So Todd has not been sending me.
Oh, there goes the audio thing again.
I ask him on a daily basis. if he
We hear
can
it too.
send me
It's not just you.
I'll even
No, it's on the left.
get on a call and sort through it. He's not sending me anything.
Well, maybe we could do a lot of that in person, like pulling and digging.
God,
want
he was
the
such a
surround
pain.
sound.
To us.
We want the surround sound.
Yeah, I
effect.
know,
Rose
surround
has
sound.
even offered her home for
I
us to
asked
meet
him
up
for
with Todd.
weeks
So
to send me
I was
something.
thinking
I didn't even know what Stephanie looked like until the week before we met
pick
Todd.
him up from LAX,
Because he was
and it just
scared
so
to
happens
send stuff
Rose
over.
lives, like,
Well, he was,
2
I get on the phone with him and he's talking about all these different things and I'm like, no,
It's been
Todd,
3
get back to
years. We
the
just had no conversation
research.
over the phone with this person.
What type of things was
We
he
need
talking
to
about?
push him to
What?
do that.
What type of things was he talking
Yeah,
about?
he's never.
Ugh,
Crazy.
we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's his ticket. We'll pick him up from LAX. He'll stay with Rose in Bakersfield after we're done with everything, and then he's just gonna hang out with.
So Rose had offered to make it easy to have
She
him stay
did,
there
she
because
did.
they've known each other
She
for a
said
long time.
he hasn't visited her in such a long time and she wanted him to visit.
Emojis.
I know. So the thing with Todd is he talks in circles, and I can't get anything out of him.
True.
He's actually really flirty too when he talks to me.
Maybe he's just being nice.
I mean, I tried to think that in the beginning.
Why is he sending you like kisses and hearts and hugs and stuff like that?
I don't
Brian?
know.
What's going on?
Nothing. I'm just trying to get research out of
That's
him.
it, and that's what he would do. He would just segue. I'm like, I need pictures of Stephanie. Send me these texts of all this, crap.
Brianne and I got on the road to pick up Todd from LAX.
It's a nice car. What car is it?
So Todd called me yesterday and said he needs to talk to me ASAP.
If you know anything about cars, it's a
And
RSQ.
he said it was on his mind about the way he was talking to me.
He was being rude.
apologized
We were on a phone
for
call and he was being
not
rude.
thankful that
And I
we
said, hey, look, we're doing a bunch of crap for you,
made an
so
opportunity for him
I mean,
that he can travel and meet with us.
That's
you
what
need
he
to
called
send
and
me
apologized,
some
right?
research and,
Yeah.
huh?
That's when he called and apologized.
Yeah, he called and apologized.
Yo, yo.
He just didn't hear
But
you.
I always answer the call like that with our boys.
Sounds
Hey,
good.
yo, what's up? Meow, meow. That
perfect.
doesn't even
I'll
sound.
be messaging you very soon. Okay, thanks, bye. I guess the only concern I have is maybe you sit up front with
I had,
Todd.
me and Drew just had this conversation,
With you?
And
and he's
Yeah.
like, can you say that again and record it? I'm like, sure, I'll say it. But I was like I'm laughing, but I'm being serious.
Sit up front with him.
What if he flirts with me?
Then you're on your own.
I mean, I've dealt with guys trying to flirt with Brienne our whole life, and I'm
Talking
just
about something,
used to it.
laugh a
Brienne
little.
handles it, and we move on. Every once in a while, there's an incident, but we haven't had any
Mind you, we are not
guys
on
be like
video.
completely disrespectful in a
And then
long,
he
long,
says,
long
"I'm
time.
just a flirty guy."
So like Brienne was telling me about this as it was happening. I'm like,
he's-
just.
But he's
tell him-
harmless.
Yeah.
He was making comments.
Like
I
text
call-
messages.
I would call him, hey
Our
Todd,
team
we
finally
need to talk
made it
about
to LAX,
research.
and
And
Todd
he'd
was
be
out
like,
front
good morning, sunshine. And everyone in the office was like, what?
Yeah.
Who's this?
But it's different when you're on a
Hello.
phone call or
Nice
in
to
text
finally
message
meet you
versus
face-to-face.
face to face.
For sure. Drew had like a dirty, nasty look towards him.
Sorry, sorry, my microphone.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
You
How was the
won't
flight?
get rid of that damn headset. Nope.
You be in the front, sir.
There was no way. I was sitting in the back with that guy.
Brianne sat
No
in
way.
front, and I hopped in the front to drive her car.
Oh wait. And then I was gonna say, do you want to pass me my coffee up there, and then you guys will have more room. I'm loading up on double coffees.
What was so
today.
funny about
I
that?
needed double coffees to deal with this guy.
I'm too much.
I think you're right in my style.
Uh-oh.
Nope. Nope.
It's a weird
traveling
comment.
was
Nope.
great. What do you think
Maybe he
about
didn't mean anything
meeting
by it.
us? Are you
Huh?
excited? You know,
Yeah.
hang
No,
out with us
I would always
today?
call him out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was calling him out on prior to that because I think we edited it. And then I was like, I'm too much. I just put him on the spot.
Are you excited? Like, are you comfortable with everything we're doing? And
I don't want to call myself an extrovert, but when I need to do things, I can jump in and manage a situation I've never been in before
Yeah, and he managed it
and make it happen.
well.
So you've never been in this situation before where you travel around for a YouTube video.
Trying to prove or disprove my significant other?
Yes.
No.
After a stop at the gas station, we had a long drive to Rose's house from LAX all the way to Bakersfield.
I did. You know what? I warned them. I warned Junior and Drew because I said, you guys have to be careful because Todd is very flirty.
Wait, did I flirt with you?
I'm putting him on the spot, giving him opportunity to.
That's your personality. Definitely your personality.
He says, really?
You forgot already?
Look at Drew's face.
How serious are you?
He was like, yeah, I saw the text.
Serious enough that I asked her to marry me.
Did you propose to her through the phone or?
Texting.
Text her
Very
right
romantic.
now. Can you text her
Very
So
romantic.
romantic.
Will you marry me?
Will you marry
babe?
me?
Smoochy kiss, heart face.
Will you marry me?
Explanation
What does he
emoji.
say, baby?
Yeah.
Can we figure out? Can we game plan a way for her to call you?
An idea like, hey, I have the 2450 that you need, but I need to hear your voice first.
This is why we came out here.
It took
So
an
we can
hour to
get
an
to
hour and a
the
half to
Yeah,
get him
right.
to message.
Can't
He
get
didn't
things.
want to corner
think
her
we
and
should
get her on the
try
phone. He didn't want to do it.
Things to get her on the phone. There go them knees.
No, they weren't knocking.
What better use of our 3-hour drive than to push a phone call with Todd and Stephanie?
It took
we had a
forever.
lot of pushback, but we needed to hear this person's voice.
I mean, don't you deserve at least a conversation with her?
Yes, but I have respected what she has told me that
Hey,
her
what it?
restrictions
We'll
are.
get her on the phone call.
I'm not gonna do anything to mess up your relationship, but I just want to help you get to the bottom of it, Todd.
And I don't want to destroy Stephanie and I through this.
We're just trying to, like, get a better idea of who Stephanie is. Don't you want to know if she's 100% in it?
Well, from my faith and what I believe with her, yes, I believe she is on.
But what faith has she given you?
Just our regular conversation. Other than that, I have received nothing tangible.
Okay, well, we don't believe that she's in it 100%. So can you do it for us? And Rose? And your friend in New York? Your family?
Drew.
And
I understand that, but I also believe in her
The
mission.
mission.
You pushing her to give you a phone call is not going to mess up her mission. Promise. And if she can't get on the phone, tell her command her to call. Somebody needs
Speak,
to call
Drew.
the phone.
Yeah.
Drew was like,
So
I love that.
added to this,
Drew was
but I
like
need
that.
a phone
We're gonna
call
get
to
it.
move my side forward.
You got this, Todd.
Sent. I didn't see this stuff.
What'd she say?
CJ is really pissed off.
Who's CJ?
Commander Jones.
If he's pissed off,
It's funny that you knew that.
and I haven't
Because I've been working with this guy for
2450 yet.
6 weeks.
She may be back on the list to be redeployed to Palestine.
What'd you say?
Babe, hold on.
Might be able to get a call, Todd.
Let's go.
He didn't even seem excited about
While
it.
we
It was
waited
weird.
for Stephanie to call us back, David gave us a call to check
probably
in on the
nervous.
team.
Yeah,
Hey,
probably.
David,
Oh, me.
as usual, don't say anything.
We all
sexy
say this to each other
because everyone-
We
when
say this
when
all
we're
the
on
time.
speaker, so it's like, hey,
I'll leave that for
I say that in front of the,
Roger.
we say that in front of the employees, in front of the kids. We love making
Digging the hole.
everyone feel awkward.
How about you keep the flirting with my wife to a minimum? How's that? Is that fair?
If that's what you're
Yeah,
saying.
that's
yeah.
what
What
you're
type of answer
saying.
is that? Is that
That's what you're
saying?
saying. Yep.
Well, I think it's just out of respect for me. It's not really what I'm saying. It's kind of it's a man code, right?
Yes.
We love man code.
All right. Thank you.
You're the best.
All right, Brianna.
Drew like that too.
I'll-
Look at
I'll-
his
I'll-
face.
I love you.
Yep, love you too. We have
Love you
about.
All right, sounds good. Love
All
you
right.
guys. Have a good one. Be safe.
Alright, we love you.
All right.
All right,
All right.
bye.
Talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Rose is just like your homegirl, right? You guys are just friends?
Yes. Yeah. Platonically, yes.
Is
Yeah,
Rose
just-
married?
No.
How come y'all don't? You never try to.
Drew.
That's not where we are.
Drew, he always has to get to the bottom of
So
everything.
how come?
And Rose,
Tell me.
Is she 30?
Yeah, she's approximately 31. Yes, she is
31.
31.
Oh, then Stephanie was
And
like
then how old's
31.
Stephanie.
Yeah, we got that
31.
wrong
31.
earlier.
What's the age difference between you and Stephanie?
27.
27 years.
Yep.
That's a big gap.
Is this the first time you've dated someone this young?
Look at you.
Does that make you feel uncomfortable?
Yeah.
It's almost
Yeah.
a first shade.
Nope.
That's so creepy.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
I
Nope.
People would ask, they're like, it didn't seem like Todd was
So
flirting.
things will
It's
work
like,
out with you and
it's,
Steph.
you're making a
might
woman
possibly
feel
have
uncomfortable.
somebody
Like, you can call it whatever you want to call it. You're
20,
making somebody feel
about
uncomfortable.
26 years
And you're being
old.
creepy.
Commander
Like, you're
Jones
telling
is
a woman
calling.
that
We're
they're
talking
flirting
about
with
your
you when they're
age
not.
difference, and it's like, and we had a good laugh because he felt uncomfortable, and then he goes, "Oh, you have a flirtatious
Afternoon,
laugh."
this time to
No.
help you.
I don't want bullshit.
I think that's an
Drew,
Drew's like, how do you let him talk to you that way?
he literally did say that. He's like, "Why are you letting him talk to you that way?"
Fun fact, whenever we talk to scammers, a lot of time they're disrespectful to the people they're talking to. So we'll talk to them or bait scammers, and they try to be disrespectful to us, and it's like,
I'm not gonna take
don't,
that.
don't talk to me that way.
I don't know you.
Help finding out who you're communicating with online, or maybe you
So
need
Todd
help
had,
through to a friend or
we
family.
only added this
Don't
edit
hesitate
in
to reach
once,
out
but
to
he
our
had said the
email.
same thing,
Share
like,
my
oh,
story
you're
at
flirting with me.
Yeah, so
How
he
many
actually said
times?
that probably.
Answers you've been looking for.
Drew says at least 3
After 3
times,
hours of
maybe
driving,
4 or
we had finally
5,
made
and
it
I'm
to
like,
Rose's
no,
house.
like I just got to the point where I was like, no, Todd, no, Todd. That first time, I was like laughing because I'm like, okay, this guy's harmless, but no, that's not what's happening. And then after that, I started getting a little more,
Not bad. How
because
you
he's
doing?
just, he doesn't know how to read a
Got the
room.
whole crew here.
Rose was extremely nice. She
She's
opened
so
up her
sweet.
home to us
She was
and
so
greeted our
nervous.
team at the door.
She was nervous,
It was a relief
yeah.
to know that Todd would have some support.
And she called you before, she's like, I don't have an expensive house, whatever. Like, we don't either, so don't,
Yeah, she's like, I'm
we're not
sorry, I
judging.
tried to clean, I put all my decorations. I'm like, you're fine, you know? She's just
Thank you so much.
She's just very
Rose, for
sweet. She's
inviting us into your home.
wanted to host
You guys
her
are welcome.
home
But
and
thank you for,
make us feel
doing this for
comfortable.
Todd and bringing him
You have
him
that same
here
mirror at
and
home. I
helping
think it's
him
very
through
similar.
It does look
because I
similar.
am
That little
a
window mirror.
real friend, and I just heard things that scared me, and I want to make sure that he's taken care of. So, thank
So
you.
Rose is a lot of people ask how they
If
met.
it proves we
This
real,
Todd was her old boss,
everything we talked about,
and
it's-
Rose had gone through a very, very
it's really
traumatic
What you don't
situation
know,
in her
Rose,
life.
is on the
Todd
way
was there
over,
for
Her
her.
husband passed
actually
away.
were able
Her
to
husband
talk
passed
to the
away,
commander.
and Todd was there. Some
we
other
got
things
on the
happened in
phone.
her life. Todd
This was
was
your first
there
time
as a
speaking to him,
friend,
right?
and
Yes,
they
we were trying
were
to get
able to
her
build this
emotional on the
friendship
phone.
over time.
She wouldn't take the call, so he decided to get on the phone.
Commander Jones is calling. Speaker.
Hello,
Such an
Moto.
old ring.
Yeah.
Afternoon, this is Todd. May I help you?
How are you doing?
Yes? Not too bad? How are you?
I'm alright. She told me you were trying to reach her while she was on patrol. I don't need you
Nigerian
to log in
accent.
any of my sergeants or corporal.
It's definitely somebody who English is not their native language, for sure.
That name must have been-
I got on the phone.
So there's a
with this guy.
psychological
I grabbed the
principle.
phone from Todd.
It's like an authority
Hi,
principle. So
I'm
when we grow
Todd's
up,
friend. I'm
we're
trying to
taught to
help
respect
him,
police officers
select
and
the
parents
funds
and
then
everybody
help
else.
him transfer
And
the
so a lot of
funds
these
over.
scammers use this psychological principle of
Okay.
like authority. So it's like this sergeant, this commander, and
And that's how. And
Someone else, you're not
yeah.
so
So this
he
is
was
what he's
in,
talking to.
you guys missed this part. So he's having an attitude with me right before that. He's like trying to tell me what to do, trying to talk down to me, and I said, no. If you want your money, this is what you're gonna do. And he's like, put the phone, give the phone back to Todd.
want bullshit.
You want me to send this money? I need to hear her voice. That's my terms. Just be strong with him.
Can you get her on the phone with me?
He was like
this afternoon
panicked during
yet?
this time.
Oh,
wasn't
he was so stressed.
No,
Yeah.
she can't be because we're not even together right now. I told you, like.
He's like going back and forth with him. Like, no, tell him.
Who gives a F what he's saying? He's just rambling. Say, if
You're
you want
getting
the money,
irritated.
I need to
I was so done with that guy.
I would really like to hear her voice this afternoon.
Please.
Please.
Please, sir. Drew's like, what?
Drew?
Drew's had it at this
send
point.
the money, figure it out. I need to talk to her.
We had it. We had already dealt with Todd for a few hours. Then we had to deal with
I need
CJ.
to speak with her.
CJ.
You can figure it out. Thank you.
Doesn't really
Sir,
make
please.
sense for a U.S. commander to
What
have
Todd doesn't realize
that
too, that
specific
he
accent.
made everybody in the car
What I
feel
would've
uncomfortable. Not just
expected for
me,
Russian,
Junior,
somebody
Drew. Everyone was
Russian,
uncomfortable. It's like,
Yeah,
dude,
so we actually have a
I know
friend.
Drew messaged me after. He's like, bro, I kept like laying into
We're gonna
him.
give
He
him a
just
call.
wouldn't. He just kept going. I think it was like funny. Art from Trilogy.
friend.
Art.
Real quick, Art, we have our friend Todd here. So Todd is under the impression that he's been speaking to a commander with a Russian accent. We just wanted to call you and kind of compare.
So Art's
the
from
accents,
Belarus,
and
but he
maybe
speaks
you can talk
Russian.
to him
Yeah,
so
that's
he
what
he
can
has a
get an
similar
understanding
accent,
of
yeah.
what kind of accent this person has.
Good afternoon, Art. How are you doing?
How you doing? How you doing, guys? I definitely not the accent coach, but I definitely know how my Slavic people talk and what kind of accents they speak.
Art's like one of the smartest guys, like with like history.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
It blows me away
sound more
how
like my
smart he
Danish
is
and
with like
Holland-
history,
Holland speaking
global
people.
history.
yeah.
Okay, all right.
He's
Does
so
that
funny.
sound like the same accent? No.
No.
Okay. Mr. Art, you helped out so much by answering the phone.
Art's like, I don't know how I helped out. That's afterwards
He's
I
like,
talked to
I
him.
don't even know why I'm showing up, but I showed up.
The accents don't match. What do you think that we're gonna tell you here today?
We obviously weren't getting through to Todd, but we weren't done yet. A few moments later, Stephanie finally called.
We tried
This was the
so
first
hard
phone
to get
call
it
Todd
get through to
got from
him.
her
We're like, we
in almost
can do
4
it.
years.
Nobody's been able to
You
get
have
through
2
to him.
minutes
We
to
can
talk
do it.
with her.
Yeah.
Oh, let's
Oh,
let's
we have
call
to
her.
we have to do this.
Yeah, let's call her.
This has to happen.
Okay, here it goes. Hey, babe.
Hello.
You said
Babe, how you doing? I miss you so much.
He knows right there.
I know.
He knows
That's
it's not her right there.
You there?
yeah, I'm here.
Is this Todd?
This is Todd, but are you Stephanie?
Yeah, because
No,
he's.
who would you ask me that? I said I had to quickly make this call. You know, I'm on patrol right now,
Yep.
and I just stopped by. to
Sounds
make
like
a
the
call.
woman you
That
spoke
was
to
why
for
I had to take care of
Mark's
a walk for
Yeah,
a
Mark's
some-
video.
I really don't
She's
have much
from
time to
Ghana.
talk,
No,
right?
I know.
So
Similar accent.
if things are able to go as planned, like the way we talked about, and you're able to make the payment before Thursday, right? You'll see me in New York by weekend.
No, hey babe, I'm so happy to hear from you. Went straight
Right.
to
If you had not talked to
I
me for
love
3 years,
you. Yeah.
he'd be
nothing-
so
You
excited.
guys have never spoken on the phone. She went straight to money.
Okay, so why you not talking? Why you mute?
Another
don't
big
have
red
no
flag.
time to talk.
So if we make the payment to
Is there a
Commander
cat in the tree?
Jones's,
What is it?
Was there a cat
Oh
in
my
the tree?
gosh. So during this time,
then what?
I see
Rose's
the
cat
tree
keeps
moving.
jumping in the tree and shaking it.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't sure if the tree is going to crash down on us.
I don't want us to talk so much so we miss out on points we're supposed to talk about.
Yep.
But I miss you so much. I like the fact that we're talking
Oh,
right
after.
Oh, you
the
like
video.
that?
now. I really can just be doing that almost every
Oh,
night.
okay.
Okay?
Yep. Well, we haven't done it in 3 years.
I miss you and you miss me too.
I do,
Okay?
and I love you.
I love you so much. You know
He's
that I
having a
love
hard
you so
time. He
much.
knows it's not
I
her.
can't wait to see you by weekend. So, would you come?
She's closing him.
Absolutely.
She's closing him. You ever been like in a sales situation? They're like,
Clo- like
how are you gonna
sales?
pay? Credit card, cash?
Like
She's
a
like, when
sales
are you gonna come
purchase?
pick me up?
I love you so much. I love you. Mwah.
Love you.
You're not blowing me a kiss, babe.
Mwah.
Babe.
Was all flirty in the car, but can't flirt right now.
I love you. That doesn't match with my audio tracking of her voice.
But that's not like a huge red flag. Like again, that's not
It-
another red flag.
It is a red flag, and he knows
I
it.
didn't like Steph's overall tenor, demeanor in her voice.
It was great that we were able to finally get Stephanie on the phone. We then pulled a video that Todd's friend sent him of the real woman in these images speaking.
I want to hear this.
I wanted to become a nurse because Obviously, I like helping people. I love science.
She definitely
I
has
love,
an accent, but it's not
taking care of
the
people
same.
find
Like her accent is not as strong as the other person that she's on the phone.
situations, and it makes me happy to see patients heal in progress.
Hers is more
I
like
hear an
Latin
accent
or Spanish.
from her, but Stephanie's accent sounds completely different.
No way these two women sound the same. We played Stephanie's voice and the real woman's voice side by side to Todd.
Obviously, I like helping people. I love science. I love.
I love you so much. You know that I love you.
Not even close.
I can't wait to see you by weekend.
What was he
I
saying
thought
after?
that actually sounded more like what I heard today than what I had.
This is him now
Talking
backtracking.
himself back into it.
Oh, you think that accent sounds like the one we just got?
What do you
off
guys
the phone
think?
with?
I don't think it sounds
Look at me.
anywhere close to that.
This woman on
Let's
this
hear in the
phone
comments.
that we just had a conversation with
Yep.
sounds like that woman in that video to you. Really.
Sounded closer to that woman than what I thought I remembered.
Oh my gosh.
But in your mind, does it
Cognitive
sound like
bias.
the
You
same
want it
person?
so bad. You want to believe
I
it so bad
know.
you convince
Spot
yourself.
on. We're talking about
He's
spot
in
on.
so much
If you watch a
denial.
video-
No, it wasn't spot on.
If you watch a video of Brienne on YouTube and then you talk to her on the phone and then you've also talked to Brienne in person, do any of those 3 times you've heard her voice sound different?
I never paid attention to its voice. Sorry.
Have you asked her about nursing or her experience
She
with
is.
nursing?
She does have a nursing degree and a specialty in pediatrics.
2024, she's not practicing as a nurse,
She's only working patrol.
only working patrol.
Yeah. And as I understand it, she's working border patrol for our southern border in Texas, and she's off to patrol now.
Let me create an IP
How's that a
tracker.
top secret
Let's
mission?
send it to
It
her.
does. That's what I'm saying. You're
I
on
want you to
Border
tell her
Patrol in
it
Texas,
was nice hearing
but
your
you
voice
need to
in
be
the call.
deployed to Palestine.
I have the money. I just
None
need
of
your
it
help
makes sense.
getting it.
And then you're doing
When we
interviews
send
as a
this-
nurse on
And then
Tuesday.
she has a
It'll look
nursing
like
degree,
any
but she's
other,
not using
you know,
it.
link out there. So
We looked up
it's gonna
her
be-
nursing
Yeah,
license. I mean,
we
she's
did.
a nurse.
When she clicks on that link, we're able to grab her IP address. When we get her IP address,
So-
we'll be able to know exactly.
Geolocation.
Yes.
Yes.
All of a
exactly
sudden
where
he
she is.
knows.
This will not lie.
No, that's fine. No, I understand that technology.
He understands it.
Oh,
Commander Jones confirmed with you earlier in the car she's in Texas.
right.
She confirmed right now she's in Texas.
Yep.
It's a
And so we're
defensive
just gonna
post.
validate
He's not
that.
open. He's blocking himself. He's not open.
Babe,
to it.
I'm ready to send.
No, he doesn't want to believe
Yeah,
it.
send it. Send
Okay.
the link.
Send the link. Okay.
Brienne had Todd send this message to Stephanie. We knew this was the perfect way to bait a scammer to click on a link. While we waited to get the results, Brienne would reveal even more to Todd about the real woman.
It's
in
always my
these
favorite
images.
doing live
So to find
IP
the
trackers
videos,
because
me
they can
too.
see in real
You
time
had
how it
sent over a
works,
bunch of
and it's more
images.
believable for them versus us just saying, yeah, it's Nigeria
No, I did
or
not.
Right.
whatever
I
else.
use several reverse
I agree.
image search tools. So I ran additional searches
Yep.
on Stephanie. And
He,
I
like,
found
totally turned
a
into a
bunch of
know-it-all at this point,
interesting
huh?
information.
Oh, he knew everything.
So did she ever share with you this Flickr profile here?
No.
She's a very beautiful woman. She's very sexy.
Mm-hmm. And I've never seen any. Scroll back up. I've never seen any of those other pictures.
And then I also found this. This looks like a more recent picture. She's very cute.
She looks like a model.
Mm-hmm. She does.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do have a nice picture of her when she was 19.
That is so. I don't
That
even know.
Kind of like resembles that.
Which is
And
weird because I didn't
another
see any of the
result that I
pictures
was
where
able
she
to
was like
find
19
that
years
was
old.
connected to her images was this LinkedIn.
He thinks she's 19.
profile. Next
And
tab.
I know she's in LinkedIn.
Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen this profile?
I looked at it a very long time ago, or like within the first 2 or 3 months of us knowing each other.
And then you can see the last time she was active was August 2022. So I did some digging. I noticed that she was.
Well, it was 2 years
an
ago,
RN.
so.
This is
we're
the
talking
last
for
time
3
that
years,
she
so it
had
wouldn't be live.
So I
posted
looked
or
up
been into
registered
LinkedIn.
nurses in California.
So
under
she
that
hadn't
name,
updated
and I
anything new in her
found
LinkedIn
Carolina.
because we found this other
Okay.
license.
As you can see, her license is already expired
Yep.
at the end of September.
Carolina, yeah, that's
Carolina.
That's her dad given name.
Her
That's
dad
what her
given
dad
name.
always called
Your birth name.
But I have not
Her
been
real
able
name.
to find a profile with Stephanie
on Facebook.
and those pictures. Looking up Carolina phone number,
there's an address in Idaho. I find Carolina, registered nurse in Idaho, previously registered in California, pending a temporary license permit. Everything is aligned there on the timeline as far as her becoming a nurse, her moving to Idaho,
Case
and
solved.
activating a
Move
new
on to the next one.
nursing license.
Yeah.
And then I see here that she's married
He looks
and
confused.
her husband's name is Stephen. So the person in the image,
Yep.
her name is Carolina.
Right.
She's married to Stephen.
Right.
They moved out of California. They live in Idaho, and they are either staying with their in-laws or renting from their in-laws.
Okay.
Stephanie doesn't exist. She's not linked to any nursing license. There's no connection between her and those pictures of that person. Even finding that video, it came directly from reverse image search tools. I used several, and they all confirmed that this person in the
Social
image,
Catfish.
her name is Carolina.
Socialcatfish.com you used.
Yes, I did. But to confirm, it was coming
Todd,
up. It was popping up across the
We've had your
board.
back through all of this.
There's no way to
You've
deny,
been
you know, who
involved
this person
in
is.
what's called a romance scam. So this person has used this woman, innocent woman, in these images.
These people are victims too. The people that have their images stolen, they're
got you
victims.
to
You know?
fall in love with this person that's overseas probably. And
We've had
you to
people
send
use
thousands of
our
dollars.
son's images.
I know.
At this
I
moment,
found a
That's
few
crazy.
profiles with
Get the
Drew's
picture.
images and my images
Whoever was
before.
behind
They-
this profile
we're
ended
not-
up clicking on the link, and
we're
Brienne
not
was
like these
now
people.
able
We're
to
not
see
good
the
enough
true
looking like
location
these
of this
people that have our
person
images.
Todd had been communicating with, and we knew it had to be the nail in the coffin, right?
You'd think.
We got it. We got it.
Got it?
Maybe if I show my
This is
chest
the tool
more
we use.
and I wear booty
Lagos,
shorts, they'd use my
Nigeria.
images more.
Who?
I'm kidding,
Because
scammers.
I'm an IT guy, and I basically
Oh my
have
God.
always been the white knight.
He's a white knight.
Nigeria.
You're at my level.
I'm always at
plus.
his level.
She's good.
For what I can do and do constructively in a positive way for businesses, and you're.
I thought he's a
You know
trained
why we're not
person.
surprised about
Yeah.
How does that have to do
He
with
works for
coming from
nonprofits.
Nigeria?
I don't know.
research?
Because
I
we
don't
do
know.
this every day.
The other reason why we weren't surprised it came back as Lagos is because both the people you're talking to have Nigerian accents.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
What do you mean? Cut it out. You know what my sister said this morning?
What did she say?
She would jump out and hug you.
Oh,
So Todd, what's your plan moving forward? What I
Rose is
there's
so
no way-
sweet.
I know
She's so
you
sweet.
are an intelligent person.
Oh my. Look at Drew's rolling his eyes.
Thank you.
What's
I
your
thought I
plan,
got red.
Todd?
Look how
Tell
red
me-
Todd
tell me
just
what,
got.
What do we do about
Drew just rolled his
This-
eyes.
Stephanie person that doesn't exist?
I'm going to put the photos and everything in a locked zip file, and don't expect to ever do anything with it again.
Why a zip file?
Because I don't want anybody else to have access.
But they're
to it.
not. Yeah,
they're not
exactly.
It's going to be a case closed.
I think that's what he meant.
Delete it.
His case closed, but he said a
I'm
zip
gonna be
file.
honest though.
It's like,
I don't know.
You thinking that there's a 30-year-old or a 26-year-old out there that wants you and you have.
Wait, you guys didn't talk about this, but what's this other girl at home?
he said, it's okay. I have a woman I
is
know at
the
home, back at home
way
that's
that you
26,
got into
and
this situation.
you know, I'm
It's
gonna.
not real.
And then he started calling himself a maverick and stuff.
I consider.
We didn't
for
put this in the video
everything
because it
in
didn't
my world,
add
the way
or
I
take
do
away from the
things, I
story,
consider
but it was just
myself,
weird.
as rough of a term as it is.
Maybe we can get
That
the
is
edit
a rough
team
term.
to add it in there.
Like we talked
That
about
is a
coffee.
rough turn.
Kinda.
True.
I do things that other people just don't
Yeah,
do.
talk to scammers
I'll have fun.
and send money. Drew.
She's been irritated for like
These
2
photos
hours at this point.
of this beautiful woman are not Stephanie. They are not her. This person stole those images from this woman. She's an innocent woman. She's married. She has her own life. She doesn't know you. She's never communicated with you. She's never texted you. She's never called you. She has no idea that we're even meeting today. Do you understand that?
That hasn't been leaked out yet.
He just
Come on,
turns
give me
everything
some-
into
give me
a
something real.
joke.
Be-
That's why
be
we can't
serious
get
here.
anything
Like,
out of him or
this
get
is
him
a
to do
serious
things.
situation.
Like it's weird
Like, we
because if
wanna
I spent
walk
3
away
years of
from
my
this
life thinking
and
I
feel
like
like
proposing to somebody,
we left you in a better spot than
You would want to hear this.
I want to see her ramble on.
Let's block her right now. You don't use the WhatsApp for anything else. Other than talking to her.
Other than my friend from Rwanda.
You've met her in person?
No.
Then me and Drew.
On a date. We've only joked around a little bit. Haven't even flirted as much as I've flirted.
Awkward. Drew
Can
is.
we block her right now?
It's just like
Had
weird
it.
and disrespectful to say. It's just like I haven't flirted with her as much as I flirted with
delete
you.
the WhatsApp right now, but she
See,
needs
he
to be
says
blocked.
that kind of stuff.
You should, yeah.
Or that thing
Just
needs to
doesn't
be
read the
blocked.
room.
I did some wrestling training, I got some people's elbow.
I see that you need time to make that decision. So hopefully you make that
Chokeholds.
decision sooner or later. I think it'd be great if you blocked her here and now. But if you need more time to think about it, I understand that.
But there's no
But
question.
there's no.
Why am I so, I'm so into this? I'm like,
Because
what's
we
gonna
don't.
happen next?
They're like are
There's not
watching
a
it back,
question
and
that you
it's
can
like,
ask
what?
us that we cannot answer. It's a scammer. And you're gonna either continue to get scammed or block this person. It's up to you. You're a grown man.
Thank
We're
you,
gonna
Drew.
walk out of here right now, Todd, and you're gonna make whatever decision you want, and it's not gonna affect me or Brienne.
I don't know what to say other than I need to thank you for all your extremely due diligence and work that you're doing on this. I'll put this chapter as a closed chapter. I don't know what else to say.
Todd again.
Sorry for being a staunch.
If you need anything, if you need us
He's
to
a
look up
pain.
anything, you have any
Pain in the
questions,
ass.
Brienne and the search team are here for you. If you need someone to talk to, you call anyone.
Did you say
from our
Brienne?
team.
You called
We'll answer
anyone
questions,
from our
but
team.
I'm gonna leave this here. We're leaving
Yeah,
the
at this
WhatsApp
moment, I'm like
on your
done.
phone.
I'm done with Todd.
You're grown. You're a man. You're gonna make this decision to block this person or keep communicating with you. We've taken it as far as we can. This is
It's
as
your
far as we can go.
decision.
Okay. Thank you for
Thank you
inviting
for
us, Rose.
inviting
Thank you.
us.
Thank you.
Nice
Thank you.
meeting
Thank
you,
you.
Rose.
Thank you.
Todd obviously needed some time to think about everything we had revealed to him. So a few
Right
minutes
there,
later,
he was like,
packed
bye,
up
and then he
and
tells
left
me,
Rose
he's
and
like,
Todd to go
we should
home
all
and
go
get
out
some
to
rest.
dinner
As
sometime.
soon as you thought
I
things would
think
settle
I'm
down,
good.
well, it didn't.
So I just got off the phone with Rose.
Yeah, what happened?
I asked her about what's going down with her and Todd. I said Todd explained that, you guys are having some differences.
I
Todd
got
and
that
Rose were
call
not getting
2
along
days
during
after
his
this.
visit. See, when our production team booked Todd's flights, he was originally supposed to stay with Rose through the weekend and was excited to spend some extra time with her. Todd would then catch a flight home Monday morning. But after we revealed everything to Todd, the two were not seeing eye to eye.
And she said that she was upset because
We have the footage. We should put the footage in this
research,
video.
basically.
What was it?
Hopefully we can put the footage of him being on the Ring camera.
Oh, yeah, she sent
Call
it, but I'm not sure if we can hear much of it.
She was getting
We'll try to do it.
Yeah.
And she ended up crying because he was, I guess, talking
He was
down
like
to her and
harassing
saying
her.
how
Not
he
surprised.
expects her to help pay for Stephanie. He wants
This
money for
mind-
Stephanie.
Yeah, that was insane.
Shut up.
And she was like, I'm not doing it.
Find a way to send her money.
So he wants to use our money to change his flight.
That is
I think
the
what he's
5th
basically
time
saying is
he's asked
he
me,
verified
can you
it's
change my
Stephanie
flight
and
to
not,
this? Can you do
He
this with
originally
my
wanted
flight? Can
Washington
you do
D.C.,
this?
right? To go meet her.
And that's
What,
fine.
to meet
I'll
her?
be honest. At
She
this
thought
point,
he was
I don't
mean.
want to help this guy out. He's blatantly disrespectful.
It's crazy.
So I'll call him.
I've been very nice to him. I told him when we were flying him out that we're doing this because he's our guest, and he was just being, not rude, but just demanding that, hey, if you can, I would like to fly into Washington, D.C. And I asked Rose about that, and she's like, yeah, he wants a connecting flight to Washington, D.C. because the scammer told him that she's there now. And I told him no. And then he came back and said, can you extend mine?
Yeah, he just kept wanting to change his flight.
At this point, we're just getting him out the house. We need to get him out.
I didn't want to help him,
change
but
flights
Drew's
for
like,
Rose to
for
get him
Rose,
out of the house
do
for
it. I'm like,
Rose.
yeah, that makes sense.
I know.
You know what, Brienne, the whole time, she's like,
You
this
see my
guy's
face? I'm
told
like
you,
defeated at this
driving me
point.
nuts.
You're banging.
Sorry, I'm banging.
I barely dealt with this
Dude,
guy, and I'm about to pull my
I
gun.
try to be as nice as possible.
David and I joined a call with Todd to discuss changing his flight. We didn't want him and Rose spending the next 3 days arguing
I'm
about
like,
whether or
I have
not
like thick
Stephanie
skin,
was
so I'm
real.
like, look,
I know.
But as soon as
whatever
we got on
happened,
the
let's just
call,
move this guy.
Nobody
But
knows
this
that
set me
I'm
up.
on the phone
My
on
favorite guy.
speaker.
How are you?
Oh, you're the guy that I flirt with his wife with.
Yeah, why the f were you doing that? Oh, it's not funny. No, hold on. It's not funny. He was trying to glaze over things.
Dude,
and
he's
I'm like,
such
I'm
a
going to stop
jerk.
him. And
Making conversation.
like, my blood's boiling. I'm just going to be honest with you right now. The disrespect, you messaging her and you telling her she's beautiful, her eyes.
I was on a phone call
you be
on
quiet,
mute
because we've done enough
Drew was
for
going to have
you
me
at this
talk to
point
him,
in time,
and he said that to
continue
you,
slap us
and
in the
I'm just
face.
sitting here
The first
listening
thing
to
you're
the
telling
call.
me is, oh, you're the guy that I'm
My
flirting
jaw
with
was
his
dropped.
wife? You, Todd. That's not how you talk to somebody. That's not how you talk to somebody's wife. That's bullshit the way you're talking to me right now. I spent thousands of dollars flying you out. I've spent thousands of dollars with my team. This come out of my pocket. You owe me an apology. You owe my wife an apology.
Todd, you should apologize.
We don't show it, but literally he sat there for like 1 minute staring at me, like pissed off. Apparently and you can't afford wouldn't to say sorry or anything, which is you're fine. giving money away to a fake person for 4 years, almost 100 hours of research and putting this stuff together for you, you still don't believe us, which is fine. That's up to you. But then for you to blatantly go and disrespect me the first 5 seconds I'm talking to you is not cool, man. It's not cool. You sure had a lot of words before when you were talking to my wife. You have nothing to say now?
There
were a lot of like quiet moments where he wasn't talking, so that's why I had
talked
said
to you
that.
and I
asked you to stop flirting with my wife, and then you continue to say stuff to her. You actually made her feel uncomfortable many, many, many times, to the point she didn't want to sit in the front seat with you, Todd.
And when we were in the car, how many times did I tell you to stop flirting with Brienne, bro?
I don't recall a single time when we talked about that.
Well, guess what? We can play it back on video.
Todd, I hope you're watching this, because you can see all the times you don't recall or
man to man.
you have
And
selective
obviously you're not a
memory.
man of your word. You're laundering your money away and you're broke. You're telling my wife you don't even have like money for food or travel. How are you going to do this? And we're arranging Ubers and everything
got
for you.
Ubers, food,
and this is
flights,
how you treat me
everything.
and my wife.
Thousands of
This
dollars.
is completely way out of where I am in my
I don't even know
normal
what that
life.
means.
Doesn't seem like it, because you've been like this for weeks talking to my wife like this.
Excuse me, no, I haven't.
Oh, really? Because she's been telling me for weeks. So either she's a liar or you're a liar. Which one?
I mean, what are you confused about?
I'm not confused about anything.
Well, your face looks like you're confused, bro.
Drew's
I would respect
so
you more if you were a
annoyed.
man and you just owned up to it. Because you did. Right when I got on the call with you, you said you're the man that I've been flirting with his wife for.
Yes, I was trying to.
He even
pull-
said that when we were sitting down at the table. He's like, I haven't even flirted as much
trying to open the
He made
with
lots
you.
of
It's like he's
comments like
just
that.
always saying comments.
So that's all you have to say.
The banter that I had with conversations.
You know what I
with
realized with
Brienne,
him,
there
his
was
personality?
nothing ever
He can't be wrong.
flirtatious.
And
No,
so,
he can't be
so
wrong.
that's
yeah.
actually why he's still getting scammed,
think
because
it's
he can't be wrong.
appropriate,
Because if
No,
he
it's true.
stopped,
Do you think
he
it's
would
appropriate?
admit that he was being scammed.
It was
He's the guy that can
Is it
never be wrong.
appropriate?
No,
Be a
you're
man
right,
and answer the
100%.
questions. Was it appropriate the way you were talking to my wife?
Said anything inappropriate.
Even this.
You're telling my wife she has a beautiful smile, she has beautiful eyes. You're asking my wife why she's flirting with you and she's not. This is all on camera, by the way, just so you know.
And
When he said that,
you
I mean,
just
compliment
could
is
be wrong.
okay, but the thing is
You've had a
we're chatting
politician
about
verify
research.
the
I have him on
narrative.
speaker
You've had a friend
in
that
front
did
of
the video
Braden,
with
my
his actual
son.
voice.
And I'm
We
like,
heard
hey, Todd,
a
let's talk about the
different
research.
voice
He's
when
like,
we
you
were
have a
there. We
beautiful
told
smile
him
and
IQ
beautiful eyes.
challenge
I'm like,
shows this
okay,
person
Todd,
for
let's
years.
get back.
I
Let's
tell
dial you back,
that
you know?
there
It's
is an
it's just the
active
way he's
Marine
doing
in
it.
Nigeria with the eSIM that goes to her phone.
I was
the
like, my head is
eSIM.
spinning at
I'm
this
like,
point.
in Nigeria.
You sound crazy. You sound crazy when you say, yeah, you sound
When
crazy.
you say that, I laugh.
And that's why you've lost as much
I
money
wasn't
as you've
tr-
lost
like,
over the last 4
trying to
years.
belittle. I was just
I
like,
mean, you're being honest.
like,
You're
I
like,
don't
you sound
understand.
crazy. He does.
Being sweet and being nice to you is not helping you out. And I'm not here to not help people out.
And that's why people don't want to be in your life, Todd. They're separated.
Would you?
We didn't have it, but she was like kind of chirping in the background, and she's like, "Yeah, Todd, they're
She's
right."
getting
And he was like
slicked.
getting irritated.
For Monday, that's how I'm getting home.
Yep, it's still good. Because you want to know why? Because when I tell you I'm going to do something, I do it because I'm a man. That's why. All right. Best of luck, Todd.
Right.
So we had actually, I spent like 30 minutes changing flights. So we got him a bus ride to LA. I put him in not the worst hotel I could find, but definitely not a nice like hotel right by the
Not
airport.
5-star?
Yeah. And then I got him the first flight out. It may have not been the fastest flight to New York. But it
Several
was
delays.
Yeah, it was the first flight out. So I did get back at him slightly that way. He had probably 20 hours of travel to get back from.
That's okay. He
Yeah.
needed time to think about
Yeah.
things. A lot to think about.
We hope you all like this. These are kind of fun for us to do. I'd love to hear in the comments. If you enjoy this, let us know in the comments below. Do not leave though. Don't go anywhere because next we have,
My interview with Rose.
so let's get an update on what's happened with Todd since this video
Check it out.
Let's get to the bottom of things. Last time I saw you was when we had revealed all of the information to Todd. As you know, there was a disagreement between Todd and David changed the flight to get Todd out of your house following day. What happened after Todd left your house?
So after Todd left my house, I felt overwhelmed and shocked and upset about how he treated you, but I was also in shock too because he was trying to get me to give him money because he told me that he was convinced Stephanie was real and that you guys were all wrong. And I just felt like, upset with how this turned out. I did not expect it. It was shocking. But the following days, I didn't communicate with Todd, but I did call his sister Mia, and we did have a very serious chat about his well-being and his behavior. I told her that with his best interest and from what I can see, I think she needs to go for a conservatorship over him, possibly a guardianship, which she said she would do ASAP. So his sister told me that he agreed with all of your assessments, and she does see that he has become completely kind of, lack of a better term, incompetent. And I can't explain it medically, but after having all these strokes, she feels like he's just not capable of taking care of himself. His mother is older in her 80s, and she's, she definitely can't take care of him. So Mia said she's going to step in and be there for him, a conservatorship. But our friendship, unfortunately, I've cut ties with because of the way that he was trying to use me, use my financial situation, and basically told me that everything that I did was just nothing. That was very selfish and kind of felt like a slap in the face because you guys went out of your way and paid a lot of money, and I made room for him here in my guest bedroom. I did pay for everything else as far as like even like the showering, like the clothing and some of the food, but it's like I couldn't recognize him. I honestly was shocked by his behavior. It was not the same person I met in 2015.
And if you wouldn't mind talking about that, just touching on the fact, how did you and Todd meet? What was your guys' relationship? And how has he changed from that time?
So at that time, I actually had like a boyfriend I considered marrying, and my family lived in Greenwood, Arkansas, which is right out Fort Chaffee. So there was a military contracting job where they were setting up training, and we were going to videotape, but we focused on building towers and the networking and the IT part of the training. So that's where he and I met because we worked in the same kind of department doing the same work. And I want to give credence to that because knowing that he worked on a military installation, he obviously needed he couldn't have been dumb at that time. And it shows credibility towards what I'm saying because there's no way they would hire him knowing what they know now. Like, it's just crazy. And he was perfectly normal. He was actually a manager, and he ran the IT department. And at that time, he owned a house in New York and had it all, and he got paid very well. When I started to notice this decline, I noticed it in 2017. I contacted him. I mean, we've only talked a couple times since then. And then I guess I was hearing that he lost his house and his license, but he didn't give me an explanation why. And I just was like, okay. And the explanation he gives is just off the wall. Like I can't even rationalize it. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, you've apologized so many times for Todd's behavior. And I tell you every time, don't apologize for him. He's a grown man. He can apologize for himself, which he had an opportunity to and still didn't. But that's on him and no one else. And so don't feel bad about Todd's behavior, his actions. He chose to react the way that he reacted. Unfortunately, he didn't receive any of the information that we shared with him. You know, it was the first time we were able to get her voice, Stephanie's voice on the phone, both having a Nigerian accent. Seemed to just not faze him at all. And then him just talking to me the way he did. And to be honest with you, at first it was harmless, and he would say things like compliments. I'm like, oh, thanks. Moving on, let's talk about the research, just not, indulging in it. And just, okay, whatever, And then I would say after we picked him up, after David called us on the phone in the car, he turned it up 10 notches and just started constantly saying stuff or looking my way, and then making everybody in the car uncomfortable, not just me, but Drew and Junior. Everyone felt uncomfortable. And, even sitting at your dining table, he was still making some comments in front of everybody. And we were like, Todd, let's just focus. Let's just go back, But he did send me a message after he left. Obviously, it wasn't the nicest, but he says, hi, I politely complimented your eyes and your smile. You, Drew, and David spun it out of context. Drew and you stuck the camera up in our faces and created what you guys spun up. Your generation uses cameras and videos so casually, and I do not and rarely use either. When the term flirting came up, I took that jokingly. And when David came in the call with Drew, I chuckled, and David and Drew ramped up the intentionally light compliment into disturbing.
That's just his lack of awareness. And we know he does not have awareness because look at the situation with Stephanie. When afterwards, I wanted to mention, like after you guys left after that table session, he went to deviate over the subject and went to talking about you. And he asked the questions, oh, doesn't she look great? Does she have a good body? And I would try to say, okay, I think she looks very healthy and good for her age, but I would try to shut that down and talk about the serious stuff like, hey, look, you are going to be on the streets if you don't change your behavior. That's why we brought you here. And he couldn't. And just, I don't know what is wrong with this person, because we know that this relationship's fake, but if he in his mind thinks it's real, why he's disrespecting himself and the relationship by flirting with you? Like, you don't act that way even if you were in a relationship.
Yeah, I mean, he knew I was married. I even told him, we had conversation off camera. I spoke to him about our company. I said, me and my husband, we own our own business. This is what me and him do. We run the YouTube department together. We do everything together. He knew about our relationship. He did say some compliments in the beginning. Yeah. And it was nice of him to say the things that he said. I said, thank you. Moving on, like I said. But he also crossed the line in the sense that, okay, we don't want you to flirt. We want to focus on why we're here, and I'm not interested in you. So I think that at that point, now we've gone past what we needed to do here. So I'm sorry that he made you feel uncomfortable continuing conversation even after we left. So
yeah, and I'd shut him down. I got to the point where I'm very nice and sweet, but my kindness only goes so far, because I'm tough too, and I really told him he needs to act better. I did not tolerate that behavior. I chewed into him, and I chewed into him good for that behavior. So
since he's left, where are you guys now? Has he reached out to you? Have you spoken to him?
Well, I only spoke to him once after we left. I just wanted to say, hey, did you make it to New York safely? And he says, yes. And said, thank you for what you did, my friend. And that was it. But so he didn't like the fact that I stood up for myself and you and told him, why are you asking me to give you money for your scammer when, one, I'm a widow and a single mom? You know how hard I have to pay. And it's like, why would I even give it to you knowing that you're not going to use it for your own good? I mean, I opened up my home to him still. And it just, I didn't have the, coldness to just kick him out right away, but I just said he needs to fix himself. And I told him, I'm going to talk to your sister and consider counseling. So I had it with that mentality. I stood up for you guys. I stood up for myself and said, Todd, get things straight. We're trying to help you. And he couldn't handle it. So I have a doorbell camera. And when he was trying to get you guys to pay for that flight and change, I got an alert from my work saying that someone was walking by, and I push it because it's a Nest app. And in that camera, I saw Todd, and I could overhear the conversation he was having with you guys, talking about how he doesn't want to be around with me. He can't stand me. And it's like, really?
Yeah, he gave me a call, was like, I need you to change the flight. I need you. And something nobody knows is that when I got off the phone with David and Drew that day, and I said, he wants us to change the flight. He doesn't believe us. He doesn't believe our research. Drew said, hang on to the phone. I might need you to chat with Todd. And so I said, okay. So he had me on the phone. I'm driving. I can hear everything. I have the phone call on speaker. I hear David sit down and say, hey, Todd, it's me, David. They're introducing yourself. They're introducing themselves. And that's when I heard Todd open up with that line. And my jaw dropped, and I'm driving. I heard the whole conversation, and I just could not believe it. I heard him say, Todd, you should apologize to me and my wife. And then him go silent. I was like, I remember in the car talking to myself. I was like, oh my God.
I've watched so many of your videos. I'm a big fan. I listen to it while working on the podcast. To some extent, most, if not all, of the victims have come to a realization that, hey, they made a mistake. All this evidence comes forward. They're forthright. They've admitted it. That's what's odd, is that you can't break him into it. And he thinks in his mind that he's a maverick. Dude, no, you're not.
Well, moving on from Todd, I hope that everything goes well for you. I hope that you have a Merry Christmas. Your decorations look beautiful. And I do want to say, I mean, regardless of how I know. I've been watching.
Time. Oh my gosh, that would be the highlight. Just we're doing this video. My cat wants over my Christmas tree.
That's funny.
Why do they do?
So, I mean, I know that things have changed between you and Todd's relationship. I just want to say, I still thank you for reaching out to us.
Thank you.
I know that your intentions were good. You were looking to help out a friend who had been, involved in this romance scam, and, who would have known that Todd would have acted this way. It is what it is, but we can use this video and promote online awareness on romance scams. And so at least some good may have come out of that.
Absolutely. I think, the Christmas season is coming, and, I wanted to say a message to everybody, people watching, that, whether or not, an individual deserves it, it's not the question. It's about being nice. It's about kindness. It's about caring, and it's about humility. And that's something that I think that we should all embrace and be there for one another, lift each other up, and, be kind. And I think that's what the Christmas spirit is about. But on an ended note, Merry Christmas to all. So
Merry Christmas to you too. Thank you so much, Rose, for meeting with us today and sharing your thoughts on Todd and the situation.
I know I don't regret it, because, we still helped someone, even though he didn't receive it. We should still be good, kind people as best we can. It's not, if they don't like it, that's fine, but do it for ourselves too.